All right, so that was the president making comments at the NATO summit. He covered a wide array of comments, answering questions from reporters, including about the Iran situation, the Iran conflict, his intention or stated intention to bomb them tonight, but also covered his thoughts on communism and socialism, and importantly, a lot of our NATO allies. So let's take it around the couch. Tiffany, during this, we were talking about the sort of benefit and the cost-benefit analysis of strengthening those relationships in a formal way in terms of contribution to NATO, and also in terms of knowing that these allies will step up with economic pressure where needs be. What are your thoughts on what we could see now moving forward?
Yeah, I think this is very strategic on the president's part, obviously bringing NATO to the table. He said that he's going to ask for annual defense spending, holding NATO nations accountable, and pretty much saying, like, you know, he can circle the wagons sort of on Iran, and he is here, not necessarily, he didn't say, I'm going to get a deal, but he showed that he's incredibly frustrated, and he's going to see it to the end, no matter what it takes. I think he asserted confidence and dominance and basically said this Iran should have been dealt with 40 years ago, and we're going to deal with them now. America's not going to roll over. We're here, and we're committed for the long haul.
Hemmer.
I think his comments on communism were very interesting. And I think for a lot of people who have not been following American politics, it might have caught them off guard a little bit. With regard to Iran, I think that question toward the end was very interesting. Are we going back to war? In the end, he got to the answer. He says, I don't think so. But these, twice today, all right, long before we woke up earlier today, he made comments about being a target on behalf of the Iranian regime. And I'm not sure where that comes from. And it could very well be something that he's receiving information from his own team. This whole story about Air Force One, I'd love to talk to our folks and figure out why that is. This new plane that was a source of great controversy coming out of Qatar has only been in service for 1 week. So there's got to be a backstory on that. And I'd be very curious to find out why.
Yeah, Lisa.
Well, obviously very concerning for him to twice today talk about Iran potentially taking him out. Look, he sounds frustrated to me. He sounds tired as well. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders with wars in Ukraine as well as Iran. He talks about finishing the job in Iran, but I would love to know what that means. Because so far you go through, we've checked off the checklist of what you do to try to systematically take out and break a regime. From taking out many of their leaders to also even these maritime blockades, choking them financially and economically as well. We have sent, you know, in the first day alone, I think something like 900 strikes along with Israel on that first day of the war. And the regime's not breaking, and they haven't broken. And you've got these Islamists who have been creating disruption for 47 years now. So what does exiting look like, particularly with what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz and the disruption that the Iranians have been able to move forward with there? So I don't know what exit looks like. I don't know what winning looks like at this point. It's frustrating. So I guess we'll wait to see. But
right, and if it's a deal, Kaylee, it's like Tiffany said, 67% of Americans, according to the White House, support a deal. Is that what that might be like?
Yeah, it might be. I believe the story, and I didn't hear the entirety of his comments, but the story with Air Force One is I believe new Air Force One is going to visit the troops so that the troops can tour it, and he's going to take old Air Force One, but he wants the American people to benefit from it, which I think is a great thing. It's interesting, the adjectives he had for Iran today. He called them loco, cuckoo, crazy, liars, cheats, sick people, scum. He's right on all counts. At the end of the day, you are dealing with an irrational power in Iran, and we will see where it goes from here. He has never done a negotiation like this. No one has. You are dealing with some of the craziest people on planet Earth who don't care about self-preservation. So that's where we are. It's a scary time and a scary place to be, but I do believe we have a commander-in-chief that understands the only language Iran understands is strength, and he also understands the threat they pose to the world should they ever get a nuclear weapon.
Indeed. During the massive heat wave last week, my nail tech that I was working with called me loco for requesting extra hot water for my pedicure.
You are not like Iran.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.